Local news outlets all over the country are stifling their comment section. Most of the time, a lot of places are just shutting it down completely. Other sites, your local paper, your local TV stations, shut it down sporadically because when the people who actually know what happened come onto their site to tell the truth, a lot of times it blows up the narrative that this reporter is so carefully trying to construct. That's kind of what we have here down in Huntsville, Alabama. Why don't we hear the reader's description of what happened so you'll be able to make sense of this story, and it gets crazier after this. Here's what a reader says happened. So, Mr. Roderick Turner, who was black, murdered Mr. Roy Brown Sr., who was white, during an altercation at IHOP. Then Mr. Brown's son, who was white, in self-defense, shot Mr. Roderick Turner before he could inflict any more damage on customers and employees. That is how it should read. Oh, by the way, both the senior and junior Mr. Brown were customers of, were employees of IHOP when Mr. Roderick Turner went in there to pick up an order, and he discovered that it was not made to his satisfaction.
Police say 25-year-old Roderick Turner went to the restaurant to pick up a to-go order when he became disruptive and loud regarding the service. They say this led to a verbal argument, then a fight between Turner and another employee. Police say Turner pulled out a gun and started firing at employees. He shot 56-year-old Roy Brown and another employee. Police say the unnamed employee pulled a gun and shot Turner. Brown and Turner died from their injuries. The employee who police say killed Turner is recovering from their injuries.
Even though the reporter might have been new in town, Mr. Roderick Turner was not. A lot of people knew who he was. Here's one guy reminded people that this is not Mr. Roderick Turner's first shooting rodeo. He said in 2011 he was responsible for shooting a 22-year-old man in such and such a place. And then another guy comes in and said, yeah, he shot 3 other people in 2 previous incidents in 2011, 2012. And then one of the guys provided a link to one of the shootings. Sure enough, it's the same guy. Guy shoots 3 people 6 years ago. Now he's back out on the streets shooting another guy at work. Of course, there's always the apologist that rolls in here and really wants to explain to us what really happened. I wonder if Mr. Brown's son was emboldened to allow himself to get into a physical altercation with Turner because the gun in his pocket made him feel invincible.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Wow, that's a lot of mental gymnastics there. That's a lot of work. Boy, it's exhausting. Must be exhausting going around explaining all these things after they happen when a fella goes into a restaurant and starts shooting people because he didn't like the way his bacon and eggs were prepared. Is this the first time we've ever seen this? No, we've seen dozens and dozens and hundreds of these examples in restaurants, IHOPs or Waffle House or just a regular old corner place. Lots of argy-bargy, lots of violence, lots of shootings. Still waiting to see an example of a white person doing this because every single one I've seen involves one of the fellas and or a lovely lady. This paper doesn't have the stones to point that out. Maybe they think it's not important. Maybe they think the pattern of this kind of violence is not important. Maybe, maybe not. But for sure they know if they print the pattern, that's going to make a lot of black kids angry.